How's it going, everybody? Chris Schmidt back for the week 6 Persuasive speech. And this week I will be doing it on performing live music and getting over the fear of being on stage in front of people and performing in front of people. Now, have you ever dreamed or ever thought about being on stage, in front of a huge group of people, singing the music that you want to sing, that you've created for these people, and them just screaming your name out, screaming your band's name out, and screaming back the words to songs that you created? Well, I can tell you right now that it was the best feeling that I have ever experienced when I was on stage. I mean, the goosebumps and the excitement that you get is just overwhelming, and trust me, once you get over that fear of being on stage and being in front of people, and you actually go out and perform and do the things that you want to do, it is the most amazing feeling that you can feel. It is beyond any feeling that I've ever felt, and it just fills you with excitement, and it's awesome. So the first thing you got to do, if you've ever had these dreams, even if it's just public speaking, something that you're talking passionate about, playing music, singing, doing anything like that, being on stage in front of people can be a really daunting and really fearful thing for a lot of people if you're not used to that sort of thing. So when I kind of started out, I was back in high school, and we kind of started up as our band, like getting together just as friends. It was really easy back then because everybody wanted to play music, and so we started out just playing for friends and family and creating our own stuff and everything like that. But we eventually got through, in high school playing Battle of the Bands, winning that couple of years, and then going into playing live shows and recording stuff for YouTube, and actually going to Penwood Studios in Ohio, recording 2 albums that we had done, and we were actually getting really popular. Playing for big crowds, opening up for really nice bands like Academy Is and We the Kings and Hey Monday at the Rave in Milwaukee. Those were great times, and I mean, being in front of hundreds of people playing shows, it was amazing. Unfortunately, the band actually broke up after we were getting pretty big, so that kind of stinks, but it happens. I mean, all the time. You never know how it's going to pan out for you, but unfortunately it happened. But I'll be getting back into music myself, but that is why I believe that I am credible for the subject to tell you guys and try to persuade you guys into getting over your fears of that public speaking, that public singing, and being in front of people and everything like that. So what you got to do first is you got to understand that being in front of people and performing the music that you created, or the music that you're covering, or even public speaking, it's very, very daunting and nerve-wracking at first, and you have to actually experience and go out there and do it a couple times in front of small groups of people, obviously, before you can really get that feel of how you need to do things, how you feel about doing things, and just that sheer love of doing it and knowing that you can do it, and no matter what, these people are going to listen to you. They're there to listen to you, and you want to give them a good show, or you want to give them good information about what you're talking about. So on a band standpoint, the first thing you really need to do is put a band together, right? So to get this going, if you're not in high school anymore, obviously it's kind of a little bit more difficult. You don't have friends that play these instruments or do singing or anything like that, but there's always Craigslist, and there's a bunch of other websites out there that are looking for bassists or drummers or singers and everything like that, and you can hook up with these people and try to collaborate musically with these people and see what can go on. Now, there's a couple of different other sites too. I won't refer to them because I'm not 100% sure. I've never really used them, obviously, because I've always had friends that were musically inclined. But there are sites out there, and there are places to look for anything, honestly. Anything that you're looking for, performing to speaking, people looking for just skilled people in that way. But what you really should start doing if you want to follow your dreams this way, or if there's anything you need to get fear out of, it's really just speaking in front of people and not being nervous, and telling them what your point is, showing them that you know what you're talking about, and just getting over that fear and having a lot of fun. So when we first started out, we were making music, we were doing stuff on YouTube, all that things. And we first played our first shows. Yeah, of course I was nervous because I'd never been on stage, but once I got up there in Battle of the Bands in high school, it was like everything kind of the nervousness just went away. It was so freaking exciting to be up there in front of people, staring up at you, waiting to see what you have to tell them, what you have to sing about, what you have to play about. And getting that feedback after you're done playing and while you're playing with the crowd cheering your name and cheering your songs back to you is probably the most amazing feeling I've ever felt on stage with the spotlight. I mean, it's the greatest feeling, and it gives you that humility that you want, and that happiness and everything else that it just comes with that, and it's so amazing. Like I'm telling you, if you've ever had these dreams, if you've ever wanted to do anything like that, speeches, singing, guitar, drums, anything, being in front of people, I highly recommend doing it, because it was the best times of my life, probably. Just the most exciting times being on stage in front of people. But if you gotta do this, you gotta work hard at this. You gotta make sure that you're not so much nervous about being in front of people, talking to people, singing to people. I mean, even if it's like a couple of your friends and you're sitting around, right? Well, and you're scared to sing in front of them. Don't be. Try these exercises. Go for it. Just be like, hey, I'm gonna sing some music. I'm gonna do something, and give it your all right in front of them. Don't hold anything back, because then you'll stay that way. You'll stay nervous. You won't jump out of your shell. You won't do what you need to do in order to be ready for that next step. So basically, if you ever wanted these kind of things, promoting yourself is like the best thing you possibly can, right? Because what's the point of playing shows to people that are just your friends and family, and you'll never have actual fans there that you've never known, people that you promote to online and you sell your merchandise to. You'll never get those people if you literally don't do any work on the internet trying to, go out and find these people and show them your music and give them things for free at first, because you can't sell your stuff if nobody's going to buy it, nobody knows about you, right? It's impossible. But you have to overcome your fears first and foremost. So like I said, play music, give speeches in front of your friends, like give it your all. Don't hold anything back. Don't feel nervous. Don't say anything nervously, because you'll never grow on that. Secondly, you should make videos of yourself playing these musics or these covers or these speeches that you've done, and just post them on the internet and try to, get as many views as you can. Try build up your fan base. And there's also other websites where you can post your music, like purevolume.com. There's MySpace. It's not really that big anymore, but people still go on for music scenes, I believe. It's not huge anymore, obviously. But there's a multitude of different places that you can go on, post your music, try and promote people. You can go on Twitter, you can go on Facebook, try to get fans, be like, hey, check this out. Like pass this on to your friends if you like it. All different kinds of things that you can do to promote yourself out there in the music industry. And it's just, you can't really understand how it makes you feel and like what the process is all about until you go on stage. So once you have all this music done, you have all this music created or covers that you've perfected and everything like that, make sure you book, the show with a couple different bands, even if you don't know. Like I said, there's other things on Craigslist and other websites where it says, hey, we need a band for this show, and there's a couple different bands to play, and there'll be people there for their fans that you've never met, you never have seen, but they'll be there because the other people, and they'll listen to your music too. So that's another great way to get your music out there. But to be successful, you really have to push yourself. You have to realize that there's hundreds of thousands of people trying to do the same thing, but if you can believe in yourself and believe that you have a good sound and you have everything that you think will be successful in the music industry in your own way, it's very vital to push that and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep throwing your stuff out there and keep promoting yourself to people, because the fan base is always the basis of a band. Because, like, let's face it, you're not going to really be a successful band or a successful person if you don't have any kind of fan base. They're the people that make you great and make you popular. So I urge you, if you ever had these dreams, if you ever wanted to do these things, just go out there, kick some butt, keep promoting yourself, and you gotta let go of that nervousness. You gotta let go of that shyness and just let yourself shine if you really believe that you have what it takes to do these types of things. Because I'm telling you right now, in my experience, it was the most amazing feeling being on stage in front of people. The most amazing feeling, them screaming your name out, screaming their band's name out, and just singing back the words that you created yourself in your own music, in your own speeches, everything like that. It is literally the most goosebumpy, best feeling I could have ever experienced, and I'm so happy that I did this when I was younger. I want to still do this now, but it's kind of a little bit harder by yourself, but I'll be doing some more acoustic stuff, but it'll be great. And I did this persuasive speech because, I mean, honestly, if you've ever had these thoughts, ever had these themes, these dreams about being on stage, about being in front of people, performing what you've created, what you've covered, and you have the potential, then let me tell you, it's well worth it. And you should get out there, practice your nervousness in front of your friends and family, get rid of it, and hook up some shows, play some music, and you'll see what I mean when you're on stage in the spotlight and everybody's looking at you for what you have to give them. Thank you.